You think Dustin Johnson had an awkward injury before the Masters? Get a load of Al. I don't know how this guy's being held together.
I'm 61 years old. I had 2 broken necks, back surgeries, and he slipped on the stairs. I think at 61 years old, I could still go play golf.
This past weekend was the Masters, the golf tournament. Did you watch any of that?
I think I'd rather watch paint dry on the wall.
Okay, that answers that. Well, I didn't watch a second of it either. But the most interesting story I thought to come out of it was the number 1 golfer in the world, Dustin Johnson, missed the whole tournament because he had an awkward injury, I guess hurting his back, falling down some stairs. He had some socks on and he slipped on the wooden stairs. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that. Golfers.
So,
it don't take a lot to make a golfer miss something,
Well, it got me to thinking, and they were talking about this on Outkick the Coverage, is what is your most awkward injury? And I know you've had a few in your day. I know you've had a broken neck or a fractured, or both?
Both. Yeah, I done had a broken neck and a fractured neck.
And, wait, what's the difference between broken and fractured? Fracture is just a crack.
Yeah, fracture is just a little crack, and when you break it, when I broke my neck, I was in the military, and a travel lock on a tank fell over and hit me on the top of my head, and it broke my neck.
What's a travel lock?
It's like the barrel on a tank that you shoot the round out of. It's held on by like a little tripod, and when it raises up, it falls down like this. So they call it a travel lock, so it rests in there. So right up under there, I was checking the oil on the engine and stuff, and somebody was inside, and they raised the tube up, didn't know I was there, and the travel lock fell down and hit me on top of my head and broke my neck.
That sounds like some heavy stuff. You're talking about tanks.
Oh yeah, it weighed 350 pounds.
I
guess I got a hard head. And I survived.
Oh man.
And then
the fracture came first?
No, that was broken neck came first. I think I was about 20. And then after that,
the universe tried to get you again.
And after that, I was over a friend's house on Father's Day. And we was playing dominoes in his driveway. And the little S-spring that holds up the garage spring, it broke, and the garage door fell and hit me on the back of my neck and fractured my neck.
Oh, man. Was that when you were paralyzed?
No, I was paralyzed from when I broke my neck. And when I was in the military, I was paralyzed, and they sent me to Loma Linda Medical Center, then to Letterman's Hospital in San Francisco, and I was in one of those beds that kind of turn you around every different way. For every 15 minutes, the bed turns and stuff. That was a nightmare.
You couldn't move?
No, I was in traction. I had one of them halos screwed into my head, and it's all tied up to your shoulders and stuff, so it's to immobilize your neck so you can't move.
Oh man, that's messed up. And
yeah.
they told you you couldn't you weren't gonna ever walk again. Is that when that happened?
Yeah. And every day the nurses used to come in, and they had this little thing. It's a round thing with points on it, and they just come and roll it down my leg every day. And then one day, about 3 weeks later, she came and rolled it down, and I jumped a little bit. And she said, "You felt that?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I moved it again. She said, and then she wouldn't call the doctors and stuff, and everybody came in, and they said the feeling is, well, it wasn't back there, but that was the signs.
You're on your way.
I was on my way, so I had to learn how to walk again and everything and stuff. It was like about 9 months of rehab.
Holy, how old are you?
21.
Oh man. I don't know if that counts as an awkward injury.
Well,
just an accident.
It's major accident.
I know there was one that happened while I was working with you. I was off that day, but I guess some spaghetti sauce or.
Oh yeah, we worked in this grocery store, and one of the guys had wasted some spaghetti sauce on the floor and didn't get it up, and me and another girl come walking around, and I didn't see it and stepped into it. And my feet went up into the air, and I fell down on the floor. And
were you upside down?
I felt like on the cone of the wall and the floor, so it's kind of torqued me up pretty good, and
you ended up having to have back surgery.
No, that was when I was going to have my second back surgery, because the other time when I was lifting too much weight at the store and stuff, and I hurt my back, I had back surgery for that one. And then when I came back recovering from back surgery, I fell again. And they wanted to have another back surgery.
Was that fall awkward?
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was awkward. You know, when I fell, my feet went up in there and it torqued me around and stuff.
Oh, I thought you fell again.
Not that time.
Oh, well, how about you were talking about this earlier, that you broke your leg playing basketball.
Oh yeah.
That's not the awkward part, but.
Oh yeah, we was playing a 3-on-3 basketball tournament over in Alameda, California. And
how old are you in here?
I was in my 20s. And we was playing basketball, and I came down on the side of somebody's foot and broke my ankle. So
It happens.
Yeah, that's one of the pitfalls of playing basketball.
Yeah, sports.
So back then, rather than wait for an ambulance,
should have been playing golf.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so rather than playing, waiting for ambulance, they put me in the car. They put me in my car, and my wife was going to she was out there, and she was going to drive me on to the hospital. Well, when they put me in the car, one of my buddies thought I was all the way into the car, and he walked by and the door, and he slammed the door shut, and my leg wasn't in the car, and he slammed it on where I broke my leg at.
Oh my God.
Oh God, you talk about hurt. I hollered, and my wife, she heard me holler so loud, she started throwing up on the
What?
Oh yeah, she said she never
Was
heard
that
nothing
bad?
like that.
Oh man.
Can you imagine a broken bone and somebody slam a door on it?
I never broke my bone. I don't know what that feels like.
Man, you just don't know how lucky you are.
I had shin splints.
Shin splints. Yeah, I had them too.
Of course you did. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was a marathon runner.
Oh, that was horrible. I can't even imagine.
Oh yeah, that was pretty bad. That was one of.
Well, also another thing that happened was, I guess you were talking on your phone to your brother.
Oh yeah, I think it was Easter, and I was in Hayward, and my brother, he was in San Diego.
How old are you here?
Probably 30 something.
All right.
And I told my brother I was trying to hurry up and get ready because I was supposed to go out to my mother-in-law's house in Fairfield I was late for dinner, and I was running around the house while I was talking to him on the phone. Maybe I was in my 40s because I had a cell phone. Yeah, this was probably 15 years ago.
Oh, man.
So I was running around the house trying to get ready, and you know how the edge of the bed, the little rail come out? I was running around there, and my toe hit that rail, and it snatched my toenail off.
Oh.
I threw the phone up in the air, and I started hollering and screaming and just jumping all around. And my brother was on, and all he could hear was me hollering and screaming. And he thought it was something wrong, so he hung up and called 911 and sent the
Where was he again?
He was in San Diego, and I was in Hayward. So he called 911, and the police came to the house, and I had to got bandages and stuff, and told him it was my toe and it like that. And he said,
"Were you still hollering when they showed up?"
I don't know. No, I probably wasn't still hollering, but he told me I better call my brother. He was real concerned because my brother thought somebody came in and was hurting me and stuff.
Who knows what's going on?
Yeah, because all he could hear was me hollering and screaming.
Can you reenact the hollering?
Yeah, right.
Especially the one where the door slammed on your leg.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, don't do that because I don't want to throw up.
Oh yeah. You don't want. Yeah.
I guess I got the list here. You got your fingers stuck in your car door. How do you get your fingers stuck in your car door?
Oh God,
You're squinting for that one?
I was working at the store, and the parking lot was above the store, so I went out to my car at break time to get something out of my car.
You're working on a night crew, so it's
I was
in the
working at
middle
night.
of the
It was like 2:00 in the morning, and up in Montclair, real quiet area of Oakland Hills. And I went up there, and when I went to
that was common for the parking lot to be above the store.
yeah, a lot of stores has got, it's built on the hills. They got stores, either parking lots under or below.
So you're up there by yourself.
So I was up there by myself, and when I went to shut the door, I shut the door with my hand. I don't know why or how I did it, but when I shut the door, it locked, and my hands were stuck in there, and the keys fell on the ground. And I couldn't reach the key.
You're like trying to reach it?
I was trying to reach, but I couldn't, and I was like
this far
hollered and stuff, and it's like I was only about a foot away from it, and I couldn't reach it.
That's something that happens in the cartoons.
And I was hollering and screaming and hollering and screaming, and somebody finally said, one was taking
How long
so
were you out there?
Probably 20 or 30 minutes. Somebody came looking for me, wondering where I was, and they could hear me hollering and stuff, and ran up there. And oh,
you probably weren't very loud because you had already hollered yourself hoarse.
Oh no, I was still pretty loud.
So many times before.
Yeah, that was pretty bizarre.
Oh man, skinned face.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, this one happened. It was I kind of deserved it for just being bad. Me and my brothers and cousins and stuff, we was going.
When you were a kid, you did all kinds of things.
Oh yeah, all kind of things that I'm not proud of now. But we was going through, like, we was over in Berkeley and stuff, and we was like throwing rocks and breaking out windows and
all right,
just vandalizing stuff, just being kids, being bad. And so one of my brothers saw a car coming and put his hand up like he was hitchhiking, and the guy pulled over and
said, something
said,
that you guys would do normally?
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick you up.
Well, yeah, you probably wouldn't. So this guy pulled over and he said, "You guys need a ride." And we said, yeah.
Did he see you vandalizing anything? Or?
He probably did, because come to find out, when we got into his car, he put the automatic locks on. And my brother was in the front seat, looked and saw his badge and stuff, and the dude was a police officer. So
undercover,
a detective or something. So my brother hollered. He said, "He's the police." And my brother, behind the back of it, took his foot and kicked the back of the police head.
What?
Kicked him in the head.
Oh, I mean, you guys were bad.
And so he kind of lost control of the car a little bit and put the brakes and stopped, or was trying to stop. Well, we got the door open and we jumped out the car while the car was still rolling.
Get the door open? I thought they were locked.
Some kind of way we got the door open.
Okay.
And we jumped out of the car while the car was still moving. And
How fast?
Landed on my face, probably around about 10 or 15 miles an hour. But it was just the way I hit. I landed on my face, and it took all the skin off the side of my face.
How does that happen? How do you survive that?
Well, you just...
What do you look like, the Terminator?
Yeah, we went home, and we went and got paper towels and stuff and put on my face and went home, and my mom saw me, and they took me to the hospital and stuff, and we just told her I fell off the bike or something and skinned my face up. We couldn't tell her that we'd been over just doing everything we ain't supposed to be doing.
What happened to that police officer?
I don't know. We got away.
It's just that was the end of that. And
that was the end of that. We ran on and made our way back home, and I'm like bleeding and everything all the way.
And how do they fix that?
You go to the hospital and they put gauze and stuff on you, salve or whatever they used to use back in that day. And hey, as you can see, I recovered.
Yeah, you look perfect now.
I done recovered from a lot of injuries.
Grease on. Well, wait. I had shin splints.
Oh, I did too. Shin splints. I can't believe shin splints is the worst thing that can happen to you.
I stepped on a cactus.
Oh, God.
You should. Oh man,
Some people have
that
all
sucked.
the fun.
Grease on forearm.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I was about 13 years old and I was cooking me some french fries. We had one of them skillets that the handle was loose.
Okay.
And I had to pick it up, and all the grease fell, the skillet twist, and the grease went all over my hand and my arm, and I ran out the house screaming and hollering and everything just down the street. Everybody was like, I was slinging my arm in the air, hollering and screaming until they finally caught up with me and put ice on it and took me to the doctor.
Oh. You put ice on that, then what happens? Is it burnt to a crisp?
No, just the skin came off.
You can see your bones?
No, not the meat, the skin. Just if you get a burn, it'll just kind of like just...
I've never seen that.
And you don't want to see it.
I had shin splints.
You and your shin splints.
Hey, those were rough. I tell you.
I did too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I guess we're gonna save the best for last here. Glass cuts ball, and before we were filming this video, you were telling me this story, and I asked you for awkward injury because of Dustin Johnson at the Masters.
Yeah.
This was like the last one you told me, but this is like what I was looking for.
Oh. When I was a kid...
Hey, what was the word before you told me the story that you were described it as? Like a devastating.
Oh, it was pretty devastating at the time. I was about, I don't know, a kid, maybe like 10, 11, somewhere around there. I don't know how old you are when you play like hide and seek. Uh-huh. Well, we had this tree at the corner of the property, and it had like a little clearing in it. So we used that as the base where we run back there and tie, and it like had a little undergrowth at the bottom of it and stuff, and just had a little clearing. We always run and use that as the base. So apparently sometime during the day before, but sometime since we had last used it, somebody put a big piece of glass that had like a point, and they put it in there.
I don't like where this is going.
So I was running to tag the base, and when I went to tag the tree, the glass stuck into my groin.
In your groin? What did it hit?
What do you think a groin is?
Well, I mean, did it hit you in the dick?
It hit my groin. And it hurt pretty bad. And it ruptured.
So it did hit that?
Yeah. And it
or
ruptured.
Just the balls?
Yeah.
Or all of
I
it?
was trying not to say that. That's why I was saying groin.
Oh.
And so they ran and told my mom, and we don't live like about a block and a half from the Kaiser Hospital in Richmond at that time. And so my mom just picked me up and just ran me to the hospital. Oh. And, oh, man, it took me like about 2 or 3 months before I could walk.
Oh.
I remember when they used to put me in the bed, nobody could even touch the bed. It hurt so bad. Could have no movement at all. It hurt so bad.
Is it worse than the shingles now that you reminded me of that? You just said that.
The shingles. Believe it or not, I don't think that was worse.
I just remember that.
That was about the same as the shingles. The shingles,
which just was recently.
The shingles back in November and stuff. The shingles was on that same area, and that was pretty bad.
He couldn't wear clothes.
I couldn't do anything. It was like somebody had a torch on them. I put ice on them and everything. It's like, that's why I tell people, if you got to get a shingles, if you ain't had a shingle shot and you over 50, you need to go get a shingle shot, because you don't want to get shingles where I got shingles.
On the balls. I'll say it for you.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Oh, man.
That was something else.
So, last but not least, the appendix.
Oh. God, a lot happened to me when I guess I was 13 or 14. When
When do you have time for all this?
I guess, the years is long, so I guess it was one after another. But I remember I had a pain in my side, and it was hurting real bad. And it just kept on. I just kept telling my mom, it's hurting. And after about 3 or 4 hours, she said she better take me to the hospital. So she took me to Kaiser Hospital in Richmond at the time, and we was poor. We didn't really have medical and stuff, and Kaiser's just told us, well, he just got a bad stomach ache or something. It'll go away and stuff, and kind of just got us out the hospital. So after about another hour, 2 hours, it was getting worse, and I was hollering and screaming. It was hurting worse. So my mom said, I better take you to the county hospital. So my mom got me up and drove me to the county hospital about 30 minutes away. In Martinez. And when I got to Martinez Hospital, when they got me into the room, because I come in and was hollering and screaming and stuff, they took me straight on in. And as soon as I got in there, my appendix burst.
Ugh.
And the doctors there told us that if I wouldn't have came to the hospital, I would have died. It just so happened that they burst when I was in the hospital. If I wouldn't have been at the hospital, I would have died. I don't know if that would be true now because of our medical advancements, but back in that must have been in the 60s, the middle 60s, your appendix burst inside you, more than likely you was going to die.
Do you think all this, or even specifically that, is because of higher power?
Well, I look at it this way. Not too many people in life can say that they didn't survive some of the injuries that I've had. I've had a broken neck, and I'm okay now. I've had a fractured neck, and I'm okay now. I've had back surgeries from accidents at work. And my back, it's not perfect, but I'm still able to move. I've had countless amounts of injuries and stuff, but you know what? God said he wouldn't give us more than we can handle. And apparently he had a certain calling for me. He had plans for me. And, I'd have been through a lot. A lot of the stuff was self-inflicted. I put myself in situations I wouldn't, but you know what? Through it all, he done brought me through it. And like I say, not everybody's able to sit back and tell this kind of stories about some of these injuries. And I'm still able to stand up and bend over and kneel down and stuff.
Well, as a non-believer, I'm just going to say it's all you. You're a survivor.
Well, you know what?
You.
I like to think I'm a survivor because of my faith in God.
Oh, all right.
And that's the story I'm telling, and that's the story I'm sticking with.